On May 21st, 1856, a U.S. Marshal led 800 armed men into an American city and burned it to the ground. The town's crime? It didn't believe in slavery. The town was Lawrence, Kansas, and it wasn't really a normal town. Kansas was a new territory, and the slavery question was being left to popular sovereignty. So wealthy Boston abolitionists sent New Englanders to settle there and pack it with anti-slavery votes. Slavery advocates in nearby Missouri had the same idea, except their version of moving to Kansas meant riding across the border on election day, voting illegally, and then riding back home in time for dinner. These border ruffians handed Kansas a pro-slavery legislator who promptly made it a crime to even speak out against slavery. By 1856, you had that legislator ruling over a territory that had mostly turned against it. The Free Staters in Lawrence refused to recognize that government and instead built their own. And Washington decided to back the pro-slavery side. So a U.S. Marshal showed up outside Lawrence with 800 men, a cannon, and a stack of arrest warrants. It wasn't a mob, it was technically the law. Then it gets real strange. The owner of the town's hotel knew they were coming, so he invited the U.S. Marshal to dinner with fine food and expensive wine. They also offered to give up the town's only cannon. The Marshal's men ate it all, then got up and decided to destroy his hotel anyways, with the very same cannon that he had just handed over. Cannonball after cannonball failed to bring down the hotel, with the raucous crowd of townspeople cheering after every attempt. Eventually, the posse gave up trying to look impressive and just burned the whole thing to the ground. In isolation, this was just a sack of a small town in the middle of nowhere, but it showed Northerners that the federal government had picked a side, and it would resort to violence to get its way. It also escalated bleeding Kansas, and it kicked off one of the most consequential weeks in American history. Within days, a congressman would be beaten nearly to death on the Senate floor, and a man named John Brown would step into the national stage. But those are stories for another day.